Greetings everyone, welcome to ChessAdvancedd. This game was played in Cloud Champions. This is day 3, this is second round robin, and Gukesh needs to bounce back with the black pieces, and he has to do it against the 5 times world champion Magnus Carlsen, and this is not going to be easy at all. And the thing is that Magnus wants to win, and not only that, Magnus is definitely hungry for blood, because yesterday he lost actually 2 games in a row to Fabi, and then I think he lost a couple of games as well. So still, I mean, he will bounce back, but let's see what Gukesh does in this position. Here, just going for e4 by Magnus. We have e5 by Gukesh, knight to f3, knight to c6, and bishop to b5. We again go for the Ruy López. Here, Gukesh also played this last game, and he went for the Ruy López, and he could not survive more than 40 moves. And what will happen now with the black pieces? Here, just a6, Morphy's defense, bishop to a4, and just d6. This is the Stein's defense, and here just going for c4, bishop to g4, and just knight to c3. We have knight to f6, h3, bishop captures, queen captures, and now just going for this knight to d7. And you could go for this bishop captures right away, b captures, castles. This is the standard idea on how to play this. And after this bishop to e7, you play b4, bishop to g5. And now, saying that, if you trade, I'll just trade this, and most likely I'll castle here. My position should be fine here, but the thing is that you were defending very decently here. You don't have any pieces to be able to attack towards the king side, so you will most likely push towards the queen side with the white pieces. So maybe queen to d1 back, castles, rook to b1, and rook to e8, d3. You just trade the bishop, and most likely after bishop captures, queen captures, and the game goes on. Most likely you're going to have to defend towards the queen side with the black pieces, and any counterplay you will have is going to be towards the king side, but you don't have any pieces towards the king side either, so it's not that easy to do. But here knight to d7, knight to e2 was played, and now just comes g6, h4. Now not going for the main ideas, but h5, and here d3. Now in this position, just knight to c5, just developing that, and in this position Magnus goes for the standard idea, bishop captures, b captures, and just d4. He pushes d4, and d4 is a very important square where he covered this. And now, I mean, Gukesh should have taken specific countermeasures to not allow this, but Magnus has pushed the central thrust, and it's going to be very difficult from here onwards for Gukesh. Here e captures, knight caps on d4, and here queen to d7 would have been maybe decent. Maybe you can hold this. Castles, play bishop to g7, e5, you play d captures, and after queen captures here, trading more pieces, you just trade everything. You go e4, bishop to g5 is definitely going to come, but you can play this knight to d3, and your knight is going to be a really strong piece. You can maybe play f5 to cement it. Maybe the rook can join in the party somehow. Maybe you can just push and maybe attack. So the game, you will have some chances to be in the game. Let's say f6, bishop to c1, f5 even, and your position should be fine here. You can just put the king on f7, and maybe you can try something, and maybe even a draw would not be a bad result in this position. But here after knight captures, here bishop to g7 was played immediately, and now here knight caps on c6, grabbing a clean pawn, queen to d7 now, but just e5, and Magnus is opening up lines, and your king is still stuck in the center. Do you want to castle here where my queen is already there, my knight is already on c6? Maybe I don't even have to castle. Maybe I can just start with an attack in this position with maybe a move like rook to b1, just preparing b4 in this position, and just trade more pieces, and I'll be fine. So a lot of questions here, and Gukesh is going to have to figure out in less than 5 minutes. Hey, queen to g4 now, asking for a trade. Definitely a good move by Gukesh. Once you're getting attacked on, it's always better to trade queens. Queen to d5 now, and queen to d5 is a very nice move. Not trading queens whenever you're attacking, you should not trade queens, and Magnus proves it. Here is castles was played, getting the kings to safety, both these pairs. Here rook a to e8 would have been very nice, because yes, e captures comes, you have c captures, and you cannot just immediately go on grabbing pawns. If you grab this pawn, then the thing is that here knight to e4 is very strong. You just give me a tempo that attracts the queen, I will have some chances, and you've given that to me on a silver platter, so you don't want that to happen. So here bishop to g5, and after this rook to e2. Now you have rook a to e1, rook captures on b2, bishop to e7, and you're just going for knight to c6 first. Yes, you're sacrificing the exchange, but if you go for bishop captures, my position, I might be able to hold even with all this pressure here. Knight is doing a very fine job. Queen doesn't have an easy target. Knight cannot jump into the game via this. You're gonna if you go here, I'll just trade, and maybe I can just hold this. But after castles here, queen caps on h4 was played, and now in this position, white is definitely going to take advantage of this, and he does it with e caps on d6. He captures, and bishop to g5 now. That comes towards an attack. I just told you this was the line that I've been showing you for all along, and now you've given a free move to Magnus that comes with a tempo towards your queen. Is it going to be good? Well, I don't see it anyway being good, but still, hey, queen to e4, asking for a trade again. Are you forced to trade in this position? Well, just bishop to e7, not even bothered about it. It's the same moves that I showed you in a different time, but in a different order. Rook f to c8 now. And now just going for rook a to e1, queen caps on d5, finally trading the queen, c captures, and now just going for this knight to d3. You could have also gone for this bishop to f8, asking for more trades, but after bishop to f6, you're not going to trade. Knight to d7, most likely bishop to d4, centralizing the bishop. Now bishop is controlling a lot of these squares, and you have to be careful. You have a knight on c6, you're controlling the entire e file. One blunder and your entire position collapses. This is the thing, and this game you don't want to play with Magnus. Magnus is very good in this game. Here, rook to c7, and after b4, you play bishop to g7, bishop to e3, and just knight to f6. Just maybe you can try after rook to d1, knight caps on d5, rook captures, maybe you have some chances, but it's still a very dangerous game that you're playing. But after c captures, hey, knight to d3 was played immediately by Gukesh, and now just comes rook to e4, f5, and f5 is a very crazy and aggressive idea. It's like you're getting attacked, and immediately you start to just immediately you start to attack back in midst of it, saying that if you're not able to find the right idea in this position, and you play just one bad move in this position, and I will just take over. And Gukesh is right in that regard. If you go for a move like rook to c4 or even rook to e2 in this position, you're not playing the right moves. And with that, I mean, Gukesh could have bounced back with a move like knight to f4, bishop to f8, anything would have been fine. But Magnus, well, he really misses, and once he's out for blood, it's very difficult to try and get him to win. I mean, try and get him to blunder. Here, rook to e6 was played, and that is the best move in this position. You're just attacking a bit too much. A knight to f4, and now just comes rook captures, knight captures on d5. He just bishop to g5 first, and now just going for this rook to c7. And rook to c7 is, obviously, you can see with the engine evaluation, is not a good move, and Magnus does find the right idea. He goes for knight to d8. You could have also gone for a move like rook to c1. That would have done the job as well, but he goes for knight to d8, and he's just going for knight to c7. But you could have also gone for knight to f6, maybe just try and hope for something here. Bishop captures, rook captures is going to be there, and maybe you can survive after this, but you're just giving up a pawn. So that's what you have to understand. King to f7 and come rook caps on a6. You have 2 pawns against 4 in a rook endgame against Magnus. Well, good luck. Here after knight to d8, knight to e7 was played, that's why. But here rook to e1, and now just comes bishop to f8, knight to e6, rook to c6 now, and here just going for this knight to d7, knight to c8, knight caps on f8, knight to b6, attacking the rook, and rook e to e7 was played, and you can see that this is just very close to over. Either you're gonna go severe material loss in this position, or much worse. And if you just decide to capture it, then just comes this knight caps on d7, and my position is still very much winning. Whatever you do in this position, let's say you try to go for rook a to c8 in this position, then just comes this knight to f6 check. And what do you do in this position? If you try to go for this king to f8 in this position, then just comes rook to h7, and yeah, this is this is going to be very crazy. You're going to have to sack the piece, sack the exchange, and to be able to survive. And yeah, this is not going to be easy at all. So that's why after this, I mean, he just resigned the game. He did not go for this knight caps on d7, and this one, well, it was a ferocious attack by Magnus with the white pieces, and Magnus is definitely out for blood. I mean, yesterday was not a good day, and now he's going to be taking it out on every single person. So will that momentum help him to take down Fabiano Caruana or not? Well, we're going to have to see. But Gukesh has been definitely improving in shorter time formats. His moves are improving. He's playing mature chess, but somewhere along the line, it's a bit too hectic as well, because he's playing, well, top 3 players, and that too he's doing it 3 consecutive days, double round robins against all of them. First day was great. His intuition was working very amazingly in all of these moves, and that shows that he's improving. Second day, well, not so great, but third day was really brutal for him, but still he's improving, and will take some time for him to actually just grab a hold of this time format. But once he does, I think he's going to be a really strong player. But other than all of this, I think what he takes back from all of these tournaments, all of these games, what he understands and analyzes, his weaknesses and everything, is going to be much more important than any result. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be coming back with some of these amazing games, so stay tuned to the channel, stay updated, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you very much for watching.